Welcome back to another Translator Insider. This week we will discuss another very controversial topic and one that actually has been causing a lot of news lately and of course attracting a lot of publicity as well. And I'm talking about Chat GPT and artificial intelligence applied to translation, copywriting, etc., etc. I believe another myth has been created, and today I will be talking about that. So stick around and let's talk about ChatGPT. So the new thing is ChatGPT. It started appearing on the news a few months ago, and it's been there ever since. Lots of claims have been made, lots of things have been said about this new technology and about AI or artificial intelligence in general. Again, there's all these theories, just like what happened with machine translation, for example, for translators. There's always all these theories and all these things. The first thing that was put forward is that kids or students will now be able to cheat in their exams because they can create their assignments on ChatGPT without knowing anything about the subject, and other claims like that. And another claim that was made is, for example, for copywriters, can be very good because you can now be a copywriter, you can now put yourself out there as a copywriter and write your copy through ChatGPT and charge for whatever the application creates for you. Well, I really don't think it's the case, and being a translator and a copywriter, I don't really think that is the case because there's a lot of legalities involved in here. Obviously, I will comment less about the question of students, but still, because every single time you write, either it's for an assignment for your university or high school, or if you are a professional copywriter, there is a responsibility attached to what you create and what you do. And one of those responsibilities are definitely creating something that is yours. And you have to have knowledge of what you're creating. You have to verify your sources. For example, if you are writing about history or any other subject for that matter, you need to verify your sources. You need to know about what you're writing. It's not just putting there whatever topic you want and that's it, it's done. It might look like that in theory, but I don't think in practical terms it would be exactly like that. Just like machine translation did not take translators' job or anything like that. In fact, there is a lot of translators that are now using that technology to do projects that are targeted for that type of application, and they are surviving. They are actually doing those projects and charging for those projects, and it's another avenue of their work. However, with AI, with artificial intelligence, and with ChatGPT, I think things are a little bit more complicated here. For example, if you are a copywriter and you are in charge of creating a website for your client, first of all, you have to have all the information about your client's company. If it's a huge company that where there's a lot of information about, can possibly be picked up by that application. However, if it's a small company that just wants a website done and wants you to create the content for that website, chances are you won't find much information out there to be able to get something out of this technology. And this is just my opinion, and I'm saying this is my personal opinion about this. Again, if you have, for example, in other fields, and you are in charge of creating a copy for, I don't know, for a legal firm, or for in the, let's say, financial services or anything like that, yes, you can find a lot of information, but you have to verify your sources, and you have to write something that is yours. And again, and the same thing that happened with machine translation, I believe it would happen with Chat GPT. It's that sometimes you may find that you would need to post edit it, because there will be something, there will be cultural traces that need to be inserted or there will be something that will not be so culturally accepted. And I have said this many times. When you produce a text for a certain market, for a certain country, you need to be culturally aware and do it in a way that is acceptable and is culturally fluent. So that culture, the people in that country will see it as something that was written by a native, if it's in the case of a translation. But if you are creating content, obviously you have to create content with the country in mind, with the target audience in mind. So, and I don't think, or at least that's my opinion, that that application would be able to do that 100%. And of course, there's all these copywriting issues. If it's not you creating the test, there's going to be a lot of issues there. You have to verify your sources when you write something, like, for example, people saying that they can create a blog and do an amazing blog with all this information, etc., etc. Well, yes and no. Yeah, if you want to do that, you may be able to, but at some point you will be caught out in something that may not be verified, something that may not even be truth, because a machine is just going to collect all the information that might be in the internet about that topic and create that text for you, and you don't know. So when the claims say that you can create something that even if you don't know nothing about that particular subject, I don't think that will work well. Well, it might work well if you have a blog and you just want to write a blog for the sake of it and have a blog. It might work on that case. But if you want to be a professional copywriter and you know all the rules and you know all the responsibilities you have as a copywriter, I honestly don't think that is the case, because we need to provide the client something that it was created by us, it was our creation, and that is verified, and all the information that we provide on whatever text we create needs to be verified and needs to be truthful. So I again think, and I question that gloom and doom vision that is going to end copywriters, that is going to end again for translators as well, and for everyone it's going to be all these things, and even for students they're going to cheat and they're going to create all these things. Well, I remember when I was in high school, one teacher said, well, you guys can cheat all you like. You can copy from a text that you brought and you hidden away your notes in your sleeve, or you can copy from your colleague next door or whatever. But at the end of the day, even doing that, you are learning something. And this was what one of my teachers said. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because if you are reading from those notes, first of all, you had to produce those notes that usually you have in your sleeve or something like that. You had to produce them. So while you are writing them, you are studying. So you are actually studying. Then, if you are applying what you have in the notes in your text or whatever paper you are doing, your exam or just a test or something for school, you are applying those, you are studying. If you're copying from someone else, it's a little less efficient in terms of learning, because you're just copying something that someone else has done. But if you do it, you are actually studying. So if these people are going to do their assignments through Chat GPT, and I believe the teachers have ways of verifying if it was actually done by them or not, because every single person has a very distinctive way of writing, a very distinctive way of expressing themselves. And a teacher, once you are a teacher and you deal with your students every day, and you see the way they write, and you see the way they construct their sentences and things like that, they will see that, well, this sentence was not created by this student. They will notice that it was something that an experienced teacher will definitely pick up, even a not so experienced teacher, because it's something that you see every day. That tendency, that type of writing. And secondly, if you cannot verify what you're writing, if your teacher is going to ask you questions about your assignment, if you know nothing about it, obviously you're going to be in trouble, because they will realize, well, this was not done by you, this was done by something else or someone else, because basically it was someone else. It was what the app does apparently is just pick up all sorts of information about that particular topic and amalgamated it into a text that you ask the application to do for you. So if it's not verified, if there's inconsistencies there, if there's things that are actually false, the teacher will pick it up. And would you want to give an assignment that you don't know if it's 100% correct? So what's the point of using an application where you know that it may not be 100% correct? So it defeats the purpose. I'm not saying that eventually this technology may not be used for good, for good things, for as a tool, such as what happened with machine translation. When Google Translate started, and we spoke about that last week, when Google Translate started, it was a bit of a doom and gloom as well. And today, people use machine translation, not exactly Google Translate, but machine translation applications to do jobs. Translators use it. So I'm not saying that in the future, ChatGPT would not evolve and there would be ways of producing things through that tool, and it would become a tool that can be used. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't think it will be that it's the end for copywriters, it's the end for a lot of professions just because ChatGPT exists. Because at the end of the day, for that application to have the information to create whatever text you ask it to, there needs to be someone that actually did the research and put information out there. So think about it. This is a cycle. So there's always, what I think ChatGPT will do is that it does the research for you. So it already has the research, but still, you still need to verify that research. You still need to verify those sources. You still need to know if they are actually good sources, if the information provided is actually truthful and it's correct, etc., etc. So in the future, it might become a tool, but I don't think it will replace a professional or a profession, because there's always the need for a human eye to look at things when you do things professionally, even when you're talking about school or university. Um, it is a responsibility, because if it's not done properly and if you don't have the mark that you actually wanted, then defeats the purpose and you won't get your mark to go to university, for example, if this is the case of high school, or if it's the case of university. Well, if you failed the assignment, then what's the purpose of doing it like that? So in my view, it's not going to be doom and gloom. It's not going to be that horrible thing that some people make it believe. However, obviously, we need to be aware of what is happening around us, and possibly what this new technology may bring to the table, and how it can be used for a good purpose, to help out, for example, and as I said, with research, etc., etc. So this is my view of what I believe ChatGPT is, and why I don't believe it will replace a professional, because there's always the need for them. And also, what I believe that it might eventually happen, such as what happened with machine translation, is that eventually it might become a tool and it might be used for a good purpose and actually completely legitimate jobs that may use that technology helping with the research. That's what I think it might happen. Let's see what the future brings. And that's all for today. I hope you like this insider of today. And again, we explored some of the controversial topics that are currently around the translation industry, copywriting, etc. And we concluded this month of March with the ChatGPT, with AI, which is something that has been on the news and has been spoken about for a very long time in other contexts as well. And I hope you liked my view. I wonder if you agree with me. Just leave me a comment. Either you agree with my analysis and what I believe ChatGPT is all about, and what really is, and what, in my view, will happen in the future, and with obviously with the evolution of the technology as well. Leave me a comment. Do you agree with my analysis? You don't? Have you ever used ChatGPT? How good is it? Just leave me a comment, your suggestion. I'm always open to new comments, new suggestions. Again, I haven't mentioned in the last few weeks, there is a poll in the channel about changing my thumbnails. I had one suggestion that one viewer that asked me to change the thumbnails. The reason I have these thumbnails standardized is because this is like a program, and every week is an episode of the same program. So that's why the thumbnail is similar. This is not like any other channel, for example, travel channels and other subjects, that they actually move the thumbnail and change the thumbnail every week or in every video. That's not the case here. And I put a poll on community. Also, I am aware, and that's unfortunate, that YouTube, this the community tab, it's only available if you access YouTube through a computer. If you do it through your phone, it won't appear. One of our viewers have brought that to my attention. She kindly went and accessed the channel through her laptop and was able to vote. But I believe if you are on a tablet or on a mobile phone, you won't be able to, because it's not available. YouTube does not have had available for tablets or mainly for mobile devices, which I think is unfortunate, which I think defeats the purpose, because most people use YouTube or consume the content on YouTube through a mobile phone. I think that's the main device used to consume YouTube content. Even those that cast it on a TV, on a flat screen TV, they do it through their phones. I do it all the time. So I think it's a little bit of a mishap on YouTube's behalf. I hope they change it. And again, I ask you, if you can, just go log on to the channel in your laptop or PC and vote for our poll. Should I change my thumbnails or not? And again, leave me your suggestions, any topic that you would like to see discussed on our Insider, or a critic. Why not? If you think that something should be changed, leave me a comment as well. And put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new Insider every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching and see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.